Welcome back to the Battle of Belgrade, you bottle-snogging bogans, and as usual we're kicking this tale off with a parable about how not having access to Wikipedia causes children to grow up without the ability to form one single, solitary, rational thought in their heads, even when their fucking life is on the line. Sorry if I sound a little pissed. It was just one of my generals got lost on the way to the battle, confused the enemy army for our own, and showed up to fight alongside them like an absolute goon. I've heard of people having a 20 and under rule, but I didn't think my recruiters were applying that to brain cell count. Alright, to be fair, I did think that. I guess I just thought 20 would be enough for a Sardinian shooter. I didn't need them to be able to comprehend the nature of the extra universal quantum foam. I just needed them to know how to fucking walk more than 10 paces in a row without breaking a leg, and which end of a musket is the loud one. Probably need at least 30 brain cells for that, as it turns out. Right, anyway, let's talk about the actual battle. Stupidity wasn't a trait unique to the Sards, as evidenced by the Frenchies trying to make a flank charge with their horses, forgetting that those horses happened to be carrying heavy artillery, so weren't going anywhere. Sent my own cav to wipe them up pronto. Enemy didn't seem to care all that much. In the centre, they were gathering up a huge block of their piss wizards, creating what I believe scientists call an intelligence-negative space-time fluctuation. Same sneaky artillery charge bullshit happening on the other side too, just went in to kill them all. To be fair, it's possible they thought I just wouldn't notice their little move since it was out on the edge of the action, but they forgot that I stare at the flanks all the livelong day, as looking at the Sardinian centre is a great way to see some shit you wouldn't wish on your worst non-French enemy. The enemy eventually started using cav to try and stop me killing all their 12-pounder pounders, but of course I just started killing those cav instead. The killing conveyor belt even brought their general up to the chopping block, although he had the dreaded lancers, so even though I had a billion times more men than him in the fight, I was putting in the order for a truckload of hussar tombstones, all reading, "Here lies some fuckwit with a quadrilateral complex. He will be remembered for always missing his target, but ironically will be missed by no one. Hashtag Tomb Kaboom." Meanwhile, the French infantry simulators had suffered a glitch that reduced their giveable fucks reserve to 0, so they just banzaied into our men like a terrible team of trench-traversing Terminators, tearing tactical traditions to tatters, tanking trouble to treat my troops to a trivial trim of their triceps and a terminal twinge of their tracheas. Too right I laughed. Fucking hilarious death march like that was the sort of thing Sardinians called entertainment, so watching that was like watching The Big Bang Theory with the added fun of every time it makes you want to kill someone, you're actually able to do it. So my strategy to defeat this shit punch lunch was to outflank the enemy with infantry and rear attack with cav. Problem was the cav were having little trouble because the enemy had worked out that if they gently trotted away from my men, they were in the clear. Managed to give them a tour de horse eventually, and after a little while we even took out their lancers. The French fuck scrooges on the front line got roughed up and decided that they would go be a bunch of pretentious twats elsewhere, so that suited me. You can probably guess that from here it was a case of survivor slaughter, getting some nice establishing shots for corpse looting for Intermediates the musical. The recording of that disaster went so wrong. I snuck out the audio tapes. Give this shit a listen. So, you want to loot some corpses, do ya?
Well, of course I do.
Well, let me tell you a thing or two about how to do it like an absolute pro.
You're probably going to need my help with this one, boys, if you're going to break out the big band stuff.
Elvis Sinatra? But, well, I guess you can help.
Well, thank you very much.
Looting corpses ain't for bogans, it's an art of skill and grace. Now you might call me a showman, but I look best on centre stage, so gather round, I'll teach you something about what secrets corpses keep. Open up the pockets, that's the done thing. I think this one's shit himself.
If you want to go a-looting, know that pros aren't here to play. If you want to get a foot in, you gotta do things the Napoleon way. Big or small, it's all worth taking. Gold or hair, it's all the same. When you see all the cash you're making, you'll hate the place but not the game.
Piles of treasure lie within these pockets of the Frenchy dead. Reach deep enough and you'll make a living if you follow everything I've said. There's hang on big boy, what are you doing?
Think he's loaded himself a trumpet.
Yeah, I see that, and he's fucking up the song. We're gonna have to do it again.
Actually, this is live. Sorry, not sorry.
What? Is now really the time to be telling me this after it's all gone to shit? If I'd known it was live, I'd have tied the piss of the fucking guns with the horses. Right, we've got to keep it going somehow. It sounds like he's kind of getting the tune. We can do this.
He's a jazzy giant and I'm digging his groove.
You're meant to be digging body pits. Get on with it. Do you actually know what a live recording is? Maybe if you give him a solo, it'll get it out of his system. Everyone stand aside. This isn't gonna work, mates. Go on solo. What's that? You can't do it. It's shit. Oh, come on. Precious gift to it, mate. You're taking this seriously, mate. This is a fucking live recording. You can't do this again. And just hands. No. Well, either that was a neo-bebop masterpiece or a waking nightmare. Masterpiece! I guess we better just get back to the song before anyone notices.
If you want to go looting, know that pros aren't here to play. If you want to get a foot in, you gotta do things the Napoleon way.
Take joy in this old profession, slagging corners ain't what I mean. Dead men don't need their possessions, so make sure you pick the place clean. Sometimes coins and sometimes watches, there's good shit here on display. I've got mine, Sinatra's got his, time to call this loot moot a day. If you want to go a-looting, know the pros aren't here to play. If you want to get a foot in, you gotta do things the Napoleon way. Big or small, it's all worth taking, gold or hair, it's all the same. When you see all the cash you're making, you hate the place but not the game. If you want to go a-looting, know the pros aren't here to play. If you want to get a foot in, you gotta do things the Napoleon way. Big or small, it's all worth taking, gold or hair, it's all the same. When you see all the cash you're making, you hate the place but not the game. Oh, for fuck's sake.
What exactly is the problem?
Well, my big number got messed up.
I've seen worse.
All I found are these fucking French francs. How much is this worth in shekels? Well, fuck all, but we can put it on the Dingo Derby. Alright, let's get out of here. If you can't stump it, trump it. Anyway, by the end of the day, the French were almost totally dead, so it seemed Operation Balkans Boost was going to succeed. Went in to find and kill the survivors, and as expected, half my men got themselves killed fighting a force 50 times smaller than them. I wasn't even mad, just took it in my stride and went on with my day, just like the therapist told me to do. There was a tidy trio of French armies queued up at our arse-kicking stand, so we needed to work out how to distribute the steel cap boots and diagrams of the human body to make sure we could get it done efficiently. I got all my guys grouped together ready to face the next wave of quasi-human musket munters. Now you might remember I had a nice little thing going on where I was sneakily conquering all of France, and for some reason the French didn't actually notice. Well, wasn't going to stop that anytime soon, pushed on and got some more. I actually had to fight for the next bit, as even though I explicitly told my generals to attack on White Flag Wednesday, they went in on bloody fight to the death Friday. Still, things went unusually smoothly. Got the goods, and even more tastily, got a blues clue about where the Alpha Fail was hanging out, right outside the main Frenchie nest. I started planning how to prank his ass hard, but in the meantime, the French were on the move. In the east, the big attack I was expecting just didn't happen. French heard there was a live attempt at breaking the world record for snails eaten while maintaining an erection strong enough to lift a wheel of Edam off the ground, and they weren't going to miss that shit. They did though try to waltz through the Alps with a load of dudes and artillery like some kind of cocaine-fueled Hannibal reenactment society. My men were worried that we couldn't take them with triple their numbers. Told the men that either they die in battle here, or they die as a test dummy in the new trebuchet-based Sardinian space program. 2,000 of us died, 2,000 of them died, 0 brave astronauts returned from a mission to stick a Sardinian flag on the sun. Overall, not a bad show. Turned out that while I was distracted watching a load of peasants reach escape velocity in the sling of a 100-story high Cosmos catapult, the French had sent a team of dicks to retake Marseille. Well, I say, that's my say, not your say, Francais. And luckily for me, they just brought a load of artillery. You couldn't even get their heavy-ass guns over that bump in the road just outside of town. So my guys went out to kill them, got most of them, lost half our guys, standard result, think calm thoughts. In round 2 we finished them off, lost 24, killed 24, fair as fair can be, calm blue ocean. Next I thought I'd have a pisser's punt at Bavaria. got some guys to sidle up to it, but it turned out they had some kind of backup stack-up strategy, suddenly revealing that most of France was just chilling behind their lines having a cheeky picnic, a Munich munch if you will, and that they brought all their horses, artillery and guns to enjoy the fresh air. Suffice to say, I had my men execute the moonwalk drill I'd been pushing, sliding back to base like a magical yet homesick turd. Never wanting to go more than a week or two without rifling through France's shit, I decided to have another pop at the old Austria annex, marching on Vienna once again to see if the Terminator factories had shut down yet. But all that isn't really the important part of this story, so let's get on to that now. Back in Paris, the big man with the plan to throw his country down the pan was still loitering outside the city. I had 2 whole armies promised a piece of the world's ponciest hat by sundown. It was a 2-stage operation. Stage 1 was to distract all the troops nearby with a performance of the classic one-man show Long John Fatwhip the Human Helicopter. Step 2 was to send 600 cav against Nappy and his 50 stooges, catching him in the perfect state, trousers up, guard down. In the brawl that ensued, one of my men found the target and just waved his sword around like his arms were made of rubber, probably because of how much of the crap I was feeding the people to get it out of my warehouses. Napoleon, being easily spoked, seemed to have a heart attack and fell to his death. Easier than expected, thought the final boss would at least put up a fight. Turns out, he wasn't even fucking dead. He just got a little bruise from falling off his horse, and my man didn't even prod him with their swords to check and walked off, leaving the greatest evil who ever lived to just walk home. So unfortunately, we'll probably end up seeing his ugly face again. People tried to cheer me up, saying things like, well, you can't win them all. And I was just like, bullshit, maybe you can't win them all, you cum stain. I'll win anything I damn well please. I'm the motherfucking king of Sardinia. This is my universe. Anyway, that's enough for now. I'll buy you another round of truth sometime. You can't have too much of this stuff.